right, welcome. Today we're going to be breaking down an Alain Merville progression, and it's going to be in the key of D flat. So it sounds complicated, but a lot of the things is just inversions. So the first thing that he does, he starts with the 4, which is a G flat, and he starts with second inversion. Okay? So as you can tell, you got the 4, which is the G flat, and on the right you got the D flat and B flat, and then he goes to the root of that. So I got the G flat and the D flat, and this B flat, we just put it down here. Okay, so it goes. Another G flat major chord, kind of like second inversion, you could say. Okay, so that's the first part. So, and then he does something like this. So pretty much once you're in that chord, all you gotta do is move your outer fingers and your and keep the inner voices the same. Okay, so what I mean by that is you play a G flat here and E flat here. So, and it goes up to A flat and F. Then it goes back to G flat and E flat. And it hits to this chord, which is like an F major 7, because you got your G flat, B flat, and F. And then he lands on this chord. So watch. And this chord is pretty dissonant, but it sounds really good. And as you can tell, it's a couple of G flat major chords, just in different inversions. And on my left hand, I have a G flat, E flat, F, G flat, and D flat. Okay, so that's the first part. So I'm gonna do it from the top. And then he does this little movement. All right, so you keep your left voices the same, G flat and E flat. On your right hand, you play, you keep the E flat constant, and then you do this little movement. So you go from the A to the B, kind of like a grace note, from A to the B, D flat, B, A. Okay? One last time. So all my outer voices stay the same. It's just this little movement that I change, okay? So I'm gonna do one more time. And then he lands in this chord. And then this is a 7 chord, suspended. So you can see on the screen I have an F, D flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, E flat, A flat, all right? And then he does this little movement. I believe it's called the promise. Okay, so da da da. You got a G flat and an E flat, and you got an A, D flat, F. But I'm gracing the E flat to the F. And back to the E flat, and again. And he does this, watch. It's like a minor chord, okay? A minor chord, but just in different inversion. Spread out. So you got a G flat, E flat, and F, A. Pardon me, A. So usually we look something like this. It's kind of like a diminished, but more like a minor chord. And over here, I'm gracing from G to the A flat. Okay, from the G to the A flat and B. So, okay. And then I hit this other chord, which is D flat, G flat, and A. Okay, so it goes. So, And as you can tell, sometimes if you don't have the reach, it's all right. Just kind of hit the bass and then play the other notes, okay? And then you go back to the 7. And then this is a pretty cool movement that he does right here. He goes, so basically it's this chord right here. You're playing an A flat major, a broken triad. You put this A flat down here on your bass. But I guess to add a little more color, you can play your E flat with this finger and add the F. So it gives it kind of like a distinguished sound. Okay, so it goes to this chord, which is also a G flat major. See? But we're adding the 7, and it sounds cool like that. You got a B flat, F, G flat, and D flat. And then we move the last 2 notes here on top. The B flat to an A and the F to an E. So, okay? So these notes stay the same. It's just this F and A. Okay, so let me do it so you can see how it sounds in context. And then he does. All right? So in that part, you finish doing this, and then you play this. A G major, as you can tell, it's a broken root, B, G, D, and I'm gracing it off the G flat. Now, second inversion G, so it goes, and then you hit this right here. So you play a kind of like a D major chord. So you got D, A, G flat, B, and you grace the E with the G flat. Okay? And then G flat, E. And when you land on the E, you change your left hand chording. Okay? So it's a D flat, A, B, E, B. So. All right, so let's do that. Let's take it to that part. So it goes. I'll do it one more time, but just slower. And then here's another series of movements that are really, really good. Here's where we land back to D flat. So you go this. That's a 4 minor, G flat minor, broken down. So second inversion. So root, second, first inversion, D flat. Okay? So, okay. And then it does this West Coast move, which is very popular. So you kind of grace yourself from E flat to F, or even D if you want. And you land on this B flat, which is the 6. So you move the inner voices, which is E flat and C, to D and B. So, and here's a really, really cool movement right here. On the left hand, he plays A flat and G. Okay? So G, A flat, G, and you land on this chord, which is G flat, A, E flat, A flat. But one cool thing about this chord is that you can do some grace notes from the D flat, D, to the E flat. So, and then he moves to this. Okay, so, and then on your left hand you change it to F, A flat, and your right hand you just change this E flat to D. So, okay, So let's do it from that little movement. And then he does something like this, watch. Okay, so that's just this. So E flat to F, G flat, F, so. Okay, so we go. And then you keep going, F, and then G flat. When you land on the G flat, make sure to play on your left hand E flat and B flat, okay? So, then A flat with an E major. So it's kind of like we just changed the keys. All right, we're on E major. So that's root position. So, first inversion, and then you do a second inversion here, gracing it off the G flat to the A flat, okay? And then we do this B, kind of like a B sus, okay? You have an E flat, B, and G flat. Okay, so let's do that movement real quick. And then you're gonna move to play some kind of like a second inversion B, but it's more like a B. It's not a B major. It's more like suspended. So the chord is B, A flat, E flat, but I'm gracing it from the G flat to the A flat, okay? So you go. And then you just move this bass to the B flat, and while you do that, you're gonna play this. Okay? And that is just all black notes. And he does this right here. All right, kind of like a diminish. A flat, F, B. Make sure you grace the E. And you hit the G flat real quick. And then F and the G flat and the A flat, I'm sorry, come down together. So right here, G and E. Okay? And then after this, he plays this note right here. So, okay? And then you hit this chord right here. G flat, C, E flat. And then you can end on the 3. And how I did that to end on the 3 is on the right hand I grace the A flat and the E flat. Well, another way to look at it, I just play E flat and A flat, but I grace the D flat. Okay, so something like this: E, E flat, D flat. So while playing this chord, which is F, D flat, E flat. So, all right. And after that, you're pretty much finished. From there, you can go anywhere, wherever you want to go. Okay. So I'm gonna play the whole thing very, very slow, so you can get an idea. Remember, you can always pause it. If there's any part that you kind of need a little more help, you can always pause it. Also, I want to let you know this movement is pretty tough. When I first started learning it, I had troubles with my hands because it sounds easier than what it really is. You have to have fluency in your hands, so make sure you take it a step at a time, okay? Don't try to rush it. So it goes something like this. Here. So it goes like this. the second part is. And then. Okay? And then the other movement. All right. I hope that helped, and I'll see you in the next video.